Hello and welcome to episode 25 of Your Broker Admin. Bit of a longer one this week as we have another guest joining me in the YBA chat room for an in-depth conversation. I'm your host, Rob Cummings, and here's a summary of what we have for you this week. There'll be no Hump Day Helper segment this week. I'm holding this one over until next week to accommodate the chat with my guest, Karla Horne, Administration Assistant with MoneyQuest Cheltenham Beaumaris. Then onto a quick wrap up with outcomes from loan reviews completed during the week ending the 9th of May 2025. Thanks for joining me, and let's get straight into the chat with Karla. Welcome again, listeners, to our regular guest chat on Your Broker Admin. Here in the YBA chat room with me today is Karla Horne, Administration Assistant with MoneyQuest Beaumaris Cheltenham. Karla, welcome to Your Broker Admin, and thanks for making some time to join me today for a chat.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Rob. I really appreciate the opportunity to get on and share some of my wisdom with you today. So, yeah, super excited.
It's great to have you. I know this is kind of probably a little bit nerve-wracking for you, the first time you've done something like this, but no, that'd be good.
Yes, indeed. No, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but no, I'm excited to dive on in and have a bit of a chat.
Excellent. So it'd be good. Now, before we get started, mainly for the benefit of the listeners, I just want to quickly share some background history on yourself before we get started. It's not an extended one because you're still so young, so there's not a big lot to go through here. But so essentially, you were with Woolworths for just on 9 years, fulfilling a number of different roles, including online 2IC, grocery 2IC, and then front-end supervisor. Before in mid-2022, you were recruited by MoneyQuest franchisee Marcus Lowe to take on your current role as administration assistant.
Yes. So yeah, I was at Woolies for just over 9 years. Did a bit of everything. And then July 2022, made the leap into joining the finance industry. Under MoneyQuest Cheltenham Beaumaris with Marcus Lowe. Yeah.
Yeah. So just a slight change in vocation for you.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, sometimes these things just happen, don't they? So
Yes, they do.
now I have it on good authority that you have a new love in your life. Would you care to share a little bit more about that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, a little bit of a personal insight here. I've fallen into the running uh sort of love for running, which is wild to me because if you knew me as a young girl and teenager sort of growing up, was never a sporty person. I come from a very sporty family, so it was sort of sort of the odd one out. Just wasn't for me. But yeah, since January 2023, just sort of thought, give it a go. And so since then I've ran 7 half marathons, and sort of can do them quite comfortably now, which is a wild thought to me. And currently training for my first full marathon. So Gold Coast 2025. So excited but terrified at the same time.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can tell you now that's something that never would something I'd be motivated to do, to run a marathon. I'm very much an opinion, well, if I can drive the 42 Ks, why do I want to run it? So,
Yes, I get that.
well, that's actually fantastic. It's like I said, it's like anything really, I suppose, in life. It's sort of, as you said, you weren't a sporty kid or
No.
growing up. But amazing how you just kind of fall into these things sometimes. So
Yeah, cannot imagine my life without it now. It's, yeah, I find it's my little outlet and, yeah, it makes me very happy, puts a smile on my face. So very, very painful and tiring, but
yeah,
all
I
worth it.
absolutely I can imagine. So are the parents sort of really proud of you now that you're joined the sporting fraternity?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So my mum, has ran, I think, 3 marathons.
Oh,
She
wow.
sh
Okay.
did that after having, 3 kids, so she was
Yep.
sort of always sporty, but didn't really get into, running the long distances, till a little bit older. So she said, "If your old mama can do it, you can definitely do it." So yeah, very proud of me, very proud of finally found my feet. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's actually really awesome. Personally, I think that's fantastic that you that motivation to actually go and do that. That's really challenging. So,
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
and probably speaks a lot about sort of where we're going to go to now in terms of I want to sort of obviously the reason you're here with me today is
Yeah.
to talk about your role as the admin assistant.
Uh-huh.
So, so I'm curious. I mean, obviously, we know came from Woolworths and across the MoneyQuest. I'm curious to understand how did that actually come about?
Yeah, so, it was sort of out of the blue, really. I sort of knew I didn't know what I wanted to do, leaving school, didn't really have, a set passion or didn't wanna,
Mhm.
pursue something in particular. So I was just sort of cruising, and was very, very fortunate, lucky, that a family friend, was, quite high up in the finance industry. She was working for a non-major bank, and sort of had a lot of contacts with brokers and things, and just sort of floated the idea to me, if I would be interested in
Yep.
giving it a go, sort of, having a sit down conversation, with a broker, with a bank, sort of got me a few interviews, here and there,
Yep.
and ended up, getting in contact with, Marcus Lowe, and he was, knew that I had 0 experience, but, was willing to take the chance on me and give me a go, gave me a job and has taught me everything I know, and yeah, so very lucky to sort of fall into this job, as I said, with, yeah, 0 experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's actually a really good point. I mean, says a lot about Marcus
Yes.
as well. The fact that he would take on someone, with your background, no finance experience in sort of into that role, given
Yeah.
the importance of the role as well. So that's a
Yeah,
big call by
absolutely.
Marcus. Um, so yeah, but yeah, obviously it's worked out. So
Obviously, it's
obviously,
yes.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, you spoke about how you came to make the change. Um, what was the actual motivation behind making the decision to leave Woolworths? I mean, you've been there 9 years, and there was
Mm.
potentially a career progression there to sort of move over and take on this new role with MoneyQuest.
Yeah, look, to be honest, no real motivation to leave.
Yeah.
So I was very comfortable. I yeah, I, yeah, no motivation to leave. I knew that Woolworths wasn't my forever job, but yes, as you said, there was, opportunities to definitely progress. But yeah,
Mhm.
just deep down sort of knew that's not where I wanted to be. So yeah, I was very grateful, for my family friends sort of, holding my hand, giving me the gentle push into trying something different. Um, Yes, I'm not really a huge, fan of, change. However, this change has worked out for the best. And I was also very interested in, learning about the finance and broking industry, as it is, a real life, everyday service and thing that people are, you know, using to buy homes
Yeah.
and, car loans. And so with me having, 0 experience, it's sort of helped me not only sort of find something new to do work-wise, but sort of given me a bit of knowledge that I can hopefully one day use in the future when I, look to buy a property of my own or, yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, that's right. So, I mean, given your background and stuff like that, so you said you had 0 experience in the finance industry. Did you have any real understanding about finance and mortgages and banking or anything like that before you
No,
came?
absolutely not. I didn't even know what an LVR was, and me and Marcus still laugh about it to this day. So yeah,
Uh,
there was yeah,
I
nothing.
wouldn't get too stressed about that. I mean, to be honest, there's a few brokers that I've come across who still don't know what an LVR is. So
Oh, that's gold. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, that's actually really good. So that's yeah, I said it's a bit humorous. So all right, so to go from there then. So were there any sort of like I suggest say myths or misconception you had about the finance industry that it's either been confirmed or dispelled since you started working with MoneyQuest?
Yeah, look, as I said, obviously having 0 experience, didn't really know too much about what a mortgage broker did, but I always sort of saw them as,
Hmm.
salespeople,
Yeah.
didn't really have, your best interest at heart. So obviously, sort of everyone knows about the banks and the big banks and, you sort of hear, they definitely don't have your best interests at heart. So I just sort of thought, brokers and that sort of fall under the same category. Um, but being in this role now for nearly 3 years, can definitely say that that has been dispelled. Can confidently say that mortgage brokers and people that work in the finance industry are definitely obligated to act in your best interest. They genuinely care for you as a client, and they're, ensuring you are provided with the best outcome for whatever scenario, you're needing assistance with. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's actually really positive feedback because there is a misconception I think
Yeah.
about the mortgage broking industry. So yeah, it's good to hear from your perspective coming in with that sort of
Yeah.
perception,
Yep.
and then sort of finding that okay, well that's not actually true. It's actually completely different. So
Yep. Yeah.
if you're enjoying the podcast, then feel free to jump onto podchaser.com, search Your Broker Admin, where you can leave a review, rate the podcast, or just simply follow us so you don't miss an episode. So, what does a typical workday look like for you as an admin assistant?
Yeah, so, every day is different. It's a bit difficult to sort of put pen to paper on what a typical day sort of looks like for me in my role.
Yeah.
But every day contains the following in some way, shape, or form. So, chatting with clients, whether it be, emails, phone calls, chatting with different lenders, the BDMs at the lenders, credit assessors at the lenders, processing loans, so a lot of loan processing, assisting Marcus with any tasks that he might need assistance with. And we've also a little bit not work related. We try and get out of the office for about a 20 to 30-minute walk. In the morning, just go grab a
Oh, right.
coffee,
Okay. Yeah.
stretch the legs, have a chat about the day. Just making an effort to sort of get out of the office, get out for a little walk, get the blood flowing, and have a bit of a off desk chat. But yeah, so we find that's sort of a staple in our day to day. But yeah, we find that works for us. So yeah, sort of
Yeah.
removes us from that office sort of
Yeah.
environment in the morning. had a little informal chat about the day, and yeah, get back into
That's
work.
great.
So
And
yeah,
I'm guessing are there many muffins in amongst that sort of chat as well?
maybe on a Friday. Yeah,
Well, good training for the marathon, isn't it? So,
absolutely. Active recovery can never have too many walks. Good, good.
absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. Good to hear you sort of had that sort of relationship with your boss, Marcus, and so be able to
Yeah,
do that. So, now
yeah,
speaking of Marcus, uh,
yeah.
I've known Marcus for nearly 10 years now. So,
Yeah,
he was
wow.
actually one of the early brokers I started working with way back.
Yep.
Um, and the thing, one of the reasons I was keen to really talk to you is that so ever since you started working with him, he's always spoken to me very highly of yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and not to put you on the spot here, but from your own perspective, what do you believe are your own attributes that make you so valuable to him and his business?
Yes, definitely putting me on the spot there. But no, I believe, I truly love what I do, and I'm very grateful to sort of, yeah, be in the role that I am with Marcus. Very lucky I got the chance to, enter the industry. So, I give my all 100% every day. Always asking questions, always keen to learn more, help where I can. And I know Marcus really appreciates um, that. And yeah, just is very appreciative
Yeah.
of
I
me.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
he tells me that all the time. So every time we talk, so he talks about
good.
that.
So you should.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's right. Well, when he listens to this interview, maybe you might be up for a pay rise. I don't know, but
I like your train of thought
yeah,
there,
there we
Rob.
go. Um, but would it be fair to say that, like I said, you keep referring to the zero experience, but do you think, from the point of view that the experience is kind of like overshadowed by the attitude? Is that's what I'm sort of
Oh,
getting, that's very
yeah.
much about your attitude.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I feel like with anything in life, you've got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
You just don't wake up one day and learn, straight away how to, drive a car or,
Yeah.
use a new iPhone, something like that. So it's just, yeah, just about, the willingness and wanting to sort of, yeah, give it your best, and just, yeah, keep a positive attitude towards it. And I think, yeah, everything else almost just falls into place because eventually you will get it if you keep that positivity and just keep at it. So yeah, I think that's definitely a key role in, yeah, stepping into something new. So
Yeah,
especially a job like
I
this.
agree
Yeah.
that I must admit, yeah, being in this business and actually employing somebody now, which I never had to do before.
Yeah.
I guess one of the attributes to look at is, or the mentality I have now, sort of having to employ people over the time, is that you can teach experience or knowledge, but I
Yeah.
can't instill attitude and sort of that drive, because that's a personal attribute. That's what I've sort
Yes.
of picked up, and
Yeah.
and I'm guessing that's kind of explains you or you down to a T. I think from what I
Yeah.
that feedback that I
Not
get. So,
not to toot my own horn or
no,
anything,
no,
but
but
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's get real. So, from the point of view,
Yeah.
I'm talking from the perspective how Marcus talks about you
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
as a support person to him. So I mean, I don't really know you personally, so I can only go what Marcus tells me. So,
Yeah.
and so that's great. So that's really good. And that's what I said. That's probably been a big part of what really was I was keen to talk to you about coming that transition from out of Woolworths, no experience,
Yep.
into a role where your broker, your boss, he talks highly about you all the time. So to me, that's a great sort of scenario. So
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
to sort of, I go lead on from there. Is there any advice that you would potentially like to share with other broker admins that may be listening to this podcast?
Yeah, definitely. Little little nugget of advice. I just think, yeah, working in this role, it's essential to sort of treat the broker's clients as if they were your own. You know, you are working under for your broker's business. You are such a crucial part of the broker's business. You're speaking to the clients, as much, if not more, than the broker themselves. You know, uh, Whether that be, quick phone calls, you know, uh, emails regarding, extra docs required, updates on where their loan's at. So it's very important to sort of nurture those relationships and, yeah, have your own sort of relationship
Mm-hmm. Yep.
with those clients, because, yeah, you are such a key part in the whole process. So yeah, very, very front of mind
Yep.
there. So yeah.
Okay. Yep. Well, I agree. And I guess looking forward a number of years, um, are there any thoughts to actually becoming a broker like Marcus?
Yeah, look, the ideas definitely sort of crossed my mind. But yeah, as previously mentioned, I am very comfortable with being comfortable. So at the moment, I know we're talking years down the track, but
Yeah.
at the moment, quite happy cruising. I love what I do. But yeah, no, I do. Eventually, many, many years down the track, think that, I would be able to sort of take the leap. You know, I've got
Mhm.
the best mentor I possibly uh, could have, if that was something, I was interested
Yeah.
in doing. So I'm very lucky there. Yeah, no, definitely open to the idea. Not anytime soon, but yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
definitely
well,
open.
who knows? Who would have thought a few years ago
Oh,
you'd be saying you'd be running a marathon?
I
So
know. Yeah, stranger things have happened.
you
Stranger
don't know
things
where
have
life
happened.
takes you.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else in sort of that role, that admin role, that sort of you might suggest to other admins from your perspective?
Yeah, look, I have always sort of lived by, you can never ask too many questions.
Yeah.
When I first started, Marcus can probably attest to this. I think I was asking about 150 questions, in a half an hour period. But, as Marcus has sort of relayed back to me as time's gone on, he would rather, have me asking those questions, because I'm such an important role in his business. He would rather, me ask a question if I'm not sure on something, to ensure that, we're on the right path. I'm
Mhm.
doing the right thing. Because yeah, at the end of the day, it is Marcus's business. They are Marcus's clients. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate of asking questions. And yeah, I've been sort of, yeah, um, let know by Marcus that, yeah, that is something that he values highly as well. So I'm sure all brokers out there would rather, their admin ask them too many questions than not enough, and sort of have niggles here and there, bumps in the road. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
right. It's better, I guess it's really about being better safe than sorry. So
yes, absolutely,
mm.
absolutely.
Okay. Oh, all right. Look, I've actually really enjoyed this chat today. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this one for a little while to catch up with you.
Yeah,
And
no, me
I know
too.
you've been dreading it, but like I said,
Not dreading, just nervous.
but it's been great. It's been really good to catch up with you. I really loved your story. Like I said, from where you've come to where you are today. So I think it's a really great one to share
Oh, thanks,
with other
Rob.
admins and stuff like that. Um, so again, I think we'll wrap it up for today. As I said before, really appreciate you actually taking some time out of your busy day. So I know you are, and making some time to have a chat to me today. Thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah, thanks. So thanks for the opportunity to, yeah, as you said, the story's a very interesting one. So no, it's good to sort of, um, yeah, speak about it and give it the light that it deserves, I think.
Yeah. Yep. That's great.
Yeah.
And wishing you all the best for sort of with your career in the future, and no doubt we'll be in talking with you as we sort of work with Marcus and yourself. No doubt we'll be in contact, I think. But for now, it's been really good, and enjoy what's left of your weeks, and hope you have a great weekend coming up.
Thanks, Rob. You too. Really appreciate your time today.
Okay, Carla, thanks.
Thank you.
In this week's reviews wrap-up, we have a look at the results from loan reviews completed during the week ending the 9th of May 2025. It was a reasonable result this week from the loan reviews, with 5,800 in interest savings achieved and one new refinance opportunity referred back to the relative broker. Most of the interest savings came from an expiring interest-only facility through Macquarie, plus an expiring fixed rate with ING. With the interest-only facility, the clients were intending to convert over to P&I and were quoted a rate of 7.24% direct by Macquarie. We were able to eventually get a rate of 6.32% for the client, saving them $3,800. Plus, we also saved them a further $100 on their OO loan. The ING customer was originally quoted a revert rate of 6.04% from ING, even though their existing variable rate split was already on 5.89%, which coincidentally we actually achieved for them in last year's review. We went to pricing and were able to get that revert rate down to the 5.89% rate also. The refinance opportunity came about following a poor review outcome with CBA on an investment loan. The client also had another investment loan through NAB on a better rate. The loan amount there was $475,000. Just a quick reminder that if you'd like to provide a review on the podcast, then you can jump onto podchaser.com, search for your broker admin, and leave your review there, which would be greatly appreciated. You can also leave comments on any specific episode directly in Spotify. If you want to follow me personally, you can do so at linkedin.com. This is Rob Cummings with your broker admin. Thank you for listening.